The history of Indian spirituality in 19th-century colonial Bengal was marked by a severe spiritual and social crisis. Influenced by Western lifestyle and cosmopolitan ideologies, the young middle-class Bengalis and the elite population were largely attracted to Christian missionaries and social reformers of Brahmoism. In the name of critical thinking and the elimination of social evils, the Brahmo Samaj movement discarded the authority of the Vedas, rituals, and the law of karma, leading to a dilution of Indian culture and traditions. Amid this chaos brought about by westernization and cultural alienation, Sri Ramakrishna was born, emerging as one of India's most prominent religious figures. He possessed a unique ability to translate complex spiritual concepts into clear and simple language that even skeptics and laymen could understand. His influence was paramount in the revival of ancient Indian spirituality in Bengal and throughout the nation. Sri Ramakrishna's father, Khudiram, was a poor Brahmin and a devout follower of Lord Rama. Notably pure at heart, he had never spoken an untruth in his entire life. This virtue was profoundly tested when a powerful landlord in his village tried to manipulate him into providing false testimony in court. The landlord believed the court would trust Khudiram's words, given his reputation for never lying. When Khudiram refused to comply with the landlord's request, he faced a threat to his property. Undeterred, Khudiram remained steadfast in his righteousness, refusing to give false evidence, and as a result, he lost all his property. Once, Khudiram embarked on a pilgrimage to Gaya, where he and his family stayed for a week. In Gaya, Lord Vishnu is referred to as Gadadhar. One night, as Khudiram slept in the temple, Lord Vishnu appeared in his dream and said, "I wish to be born as your son. May I come?" Khudiram responded, "No. I live in a thatched hut and am so impoverished that I can't feed my family more than once a day." Lord Vishnu replied, "Despite your rejection, I feel compelled to come to your home. Feed me with whatever you have." 5 years after this dream, on February 18, 1836, Khudiram's wife, Chandramani, gave birth to a boy in the village in the Hooghly district. The boy was named Gadadhar. Gadadhar matured into an intelligent, curious, energetic, and restless young boy. Though he was sent to the village school to learn Sanskrit, young Gadadhar was a reluctant student who often played truant. His true passions lay in painting and creating clay models of Hindu gods and goddesses. He was captivated by the folk and mythological stories his mother shared with him. Just by listening to priests and sannyasins, he gradually learned the Puranas and other sacred texts by heart. Young Gadadhar had a deep love for nature, often spending his time alone in orchards or by riverbanks. From a very early age, he exhibited a strong spiritual inclination, experiencing episodes of spiritual ecstasy from ordinary occurrences. One day, as he walked along the ridges of a field, eating parched rice, he saw a large flock of cranes soaring above. Struck by the beauty of this sight, Gadadhar fell into a state of unconsciousness. This incident is believed to be a significant moment of spiritual awakening in his life, setting the course for his transformation into Sri Ramakrishna. Gadadhar would also fall into trance while conducting pujas or performing in religious dramas. On one occasion, he was chosen to play the role of Lord Shiva in a play. However, once he took the stage, he reached a profound state of samadhi, losing all awareness of his physical surroundings. Eventually, people had to carry him down from the stage as he remained absorbed in this deep meditative state. Sri Ramakrishna experienced a significant loss at the age of 10 when his father passed away in 1843. Following his father's death, the family's responsibility fell onto his elder brother, Ramkumar. Being well educated, Ramkumar moved to Calcutta to earn a living for the family. Back in his village, Gadadhar took over the task of performing regular worship of their family deity, a role previously handled by his brother. He performed the pujas with deep devotion. In Calcutta, his elder brother opened a school where he taught Sanskrit and served as a priest at various socio-religious functions. Meanwhile, in Calcutta, the renowned philanthropist and queen of Janbazar, Rani Rashmoni, built a Kali temple at Dakshineshwar in 1855. Given that Rashmoni's family belonged to a lower caste in Bengali society, she encountered immense difficulty finding a priest for the temple. Rashmoni's son-in-law Mathur Babu came across Ramkumar and invited him to serve as the head priest at the temple. Ramkumar accepted and invited his younger brother Gadadhar to join him at Dakshineshwar to assist with the daily rituals. Upon arriving, Gadadhar was entrusted with decorating the deity. In 1856, Ramkumar passed away, and his brother Gadadhar assumed the role of head priest at the temple. This marked the beginning of Gadadhar's celebrated journey into priesthood. Reportedly, Mathur Babu, impressed by Gadadhar's piety and after observing certain supernatural incidents, bestowed the name Ramakrishna upon the young Gadadhar. In 1859, when Ramakrishna was 23, he married Shartha, a 5-year-old girl from a neighboring village. The couple lived separately until Shartha reached maturity. At the age of 18, she joined her husband at Dakshineshwar. Ramakrishna was profoundly moved by the sanctity of the temple, its proximity to the holy Ganges River, and the spiritual atmosphere of the temple and its surroundings. Above all, he was captivated by the living presence of the goddess Kali. He would come to regard Kali as the Divine Mother and quickly became increasingly obsessed with seeing her in her purest form. This obsession led Ramakrishna to perform unconventional rituals and explore other spiritual practices, such as praying to Kali throughout the night, during which he removed all his clothing, including his sacred thread, to rid himself of all worldly attachments. These non-traditional practices heightened the growing belief that Ramakrishna was losing his sanity. Ramakrishna was perhaps one of the few yogis who sought to experience divinity through various paths and did not adhere strictly to a single spiritual practice. He is revered as both a yogi and a bhogi. Under the tutelage of several different gurus, he embraced their philosophies with equal fervor. Between 1861 and 1863, Ramakrishna learned the intricacies of tantric practices from Abhairavi, a female sage. Guided by her, Ramakrishna successfully completed all 64 sadhanas of Tantra, including the most complex and demanding. He also learned Kundalini Yoga under Bhairavi's instruction. Next, Ramakrishna delved into the teachings of the Vaishnava faith, a philosophy and practice that contrasts starkly with Shakto Tantric practices. He studied under the guidance of Guru Jatadhari in 1864. He practiced Vatsalyabhava, in which he worshipped God, specifically Lord Vishnu, as a child with the attitude of a mother. He also practiced Madhurabhava, the central concept of the Vaishnava faith, which is synonymous with the love Radha felt for Krishna. He worshipped God Rama as Hanuman, Rama's most devoted follower, and even experienced a vision of Sita merging with him. Ramakrishna's marriage was never consummated, and this act of celibacy elevated his wife to a unique position, allowing Ramakrishna to worship his wife as an embodiment of the Divine Mother. In 1865, Ramakrishna was initiated into sannyasa, the formal life of an ascetic, by monk Totapuri. Totapuri guided Ramakrishna through the rituals of renunciation and instructed him in the teachings of Advaita Vedanta, which deals with the non-dualism of the spirit and the Brahman. In the following years, Ramakrishna undertook the practice of Islam, observing all the rituals devoutly. His exploration of Christianity came later, in 1873 when a devotee read the Bible to him, and he became deeply engrossed in the teachings of Christ. Sri Ramakrishna was a simple man with childlike enthusiasm. Despite remaining a priest in Dakshineshwar, his teachings rapidly spread throughout India and eventually worldwide. His teachings were as traditional as those of ancient sages and seers, yet they also reflected contemporary understanding. He explained complex spiritual philosophies in simple parables, stories, and anecdotes. Having practiced different facets of Hinduism and other religions, he preached that all religions were different paths leading to a single goal, God. His open acceptance of religions outside Hinduism is well recognized. Ramakrishna's influence reached all strata of society. He did not differentiate between devotees based on caste. To challenge the perception that he belonged to a higher Brahminical caste, he began to eat food cooked by the Shudras or those from lower castes. He embraced skeptics, winning them with his simple charm and selfless love. Ramakrishna served as a force of revival, reinvigorating the languishing Hinduism in 19th-century Bengal. His teachings also profoundly impacted Brahmoism, prompting its followers to re-evaluate their beliefs. Perhaps the most profound influence Sri Ramakrishna had was on Swami Vivekananda. Vivekananda became Ramakrishna's most devoted disciple, spreading his master's teachings and stories worldwide, including to the Western world. He established the Ramakrishna Vivekananda Center in New York City and founded the Ramakrishna Mission in 1897 to actualize the visions of his guru. In 1885, Ramakrishna was diagnosed with throat cancer. His disciples relocated him to a devotee's house in Shyampukur to consult with the best physicians in Calcutta. However, his health deteriorated over time, leading to his relocation to a larger house in Kasipur. Despite all efforts, his condition continued to worsen, and on August 16, 1886, Ramakrishna passed away at the Kasipur Garden House. Sri Ramakrishna transcended the limits of the dogmas and creeds. Due to his unconditional love and compassion, he taught till his last moment, to take us to the spiritual state that he attained. To his admirers, Sri Ramakrishna is a revered teacher and saint. To his devotees, he is nothing short of a divine incarnation.